Welcome back, I'm Mike Still. It's day 16. This channel is all about learning languages and in doing so better understanding different countries and cultures. We're learning Japanese in this series, 30 Days of Studying Japanese. Today I want to talk about learn Japanese while sleeping. Learn Japanese whilst you sleep. Is it a cheat sheet? Is it a shortcut? Is it magic? Is it going to suddenly make you wake up fluent in Japanese? Unlikely. Is it worth a look? Yes, definitely. I did take a look at this a few days ago. I inadvertently put it on and fell asleep. It must have been the binaural beats which kind of hypnotized me and put me in a kind of trance. But I did find some benefit in it. Now, as some of you will know, I've been using this dialogue from NHK World, Easy Japanese, as my main resource for learning Japanese, which is great, but it does often leave out some quite key phrases when you learn from a dialogue, because it would be very artificial for a dialogue to kind of comprise of hello, how are you, how old are you, and nothing else. So, for example, I learned the phrase to ask for 2 cream buns, like shukurima for tatsukai kudasai. But long before I learned how to say I don't understand. So what this is useful for, I believe, is filling in the gaps in your knowledge. And I'm going to take you through a few examples of those now. So the first one is, this is just a Japanese Pod 101, and I've highlighted some phrases, and I didn't know how to say I don't understand. So I don't understand. Wakarimasen. Is that wakarimasen? Wakarimasen. Now, that's an easy phrase. It's kind of written as one word in English, wakarimasen, and that means I don't understand. I think it also kind of is a kind of apology, but that would kind of be gomen nasai, sumimasen, but wakarimasen in this context means I don't understand in this example. So wakarimasen, I don't understand. Next one is konbanwa. Konbanwa. What does that mean? Konbanwa. They say it at the beginning of every Terrace House episode. Konbanwa, pointing to the TV. You can't see it, but I can. Konbanwa, good evening. So konbanwa. Konbanwa. This hadn't come up in my dialogue either. So again, another phrase, word I can add to my daily vocab list, which is the core of this whole thing. The most important folder is all my documents of learning Japanese vocab. Konbanwa, good evening. Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai. And again, I didn't know that hasn't come up, but do I want to be able to say goodnight? Yeah, I do. Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai. There you go, good night. So we're learning as well. Next up, you won't believe it, but I didn't know how to say how are you. This is how you ask how are you. O genki desu ka? O genki desu ka? O genki desu ka? Or genki desu ka. If you follow my Instagram, which is at Mike Still UK, link in description, you will know that I didn't know how to say this because I wanted to ask how y'all were, and I said like geki desu or something like that. I kind of got the feeling of it, but O genki desu ka? So let's just listen to that again. How are you? O genki desu ka? O genki desu ka? How are you? So now you know how to say how are you in Japanese. O genki desu ka? O namae wa? O namae wa means what's your name? I did not know that. Eigo hanasemasu ka? Eigo hanasemasu ka? Eigo hanashimasu ka? Eigo hanashimasu ka? Do you know what that means? I bet I'm going to say probably 90% of you do. Eigo hanashimasu ka? That means, do you speak English? I could have done with this about this time yesterday because I actually phoned up a hotel in Japan and I was trying to book a room. Don't ask me why I wasn't doing it online. It's a long story, but basically they weren't available online to like booking.com or whatever. So I could have used this, and I actually said, do you speak English in English? But eigo hanashimasu ka would have been a really useful phrase. And I'm at the stage now in my learning where I can look at this, I can say things like watashi wa Arabiya go doitsu to eigo wo hanashimasu, which is I speak Arabic, German and English. So the verb goes at the end, hanashimasu, and I can pick out the eigo hanashimasu ka, which is the hanashimasu, that's the verb to speak, or to talk in. And then eigo is English. So eigo wo hanashimasu ka is English particle, speak, ka, and ka is a question particle. So I can immediately deduce this phrase, and this is now this is going to stay in my head because I can see the words, I can see the keywords, I already recognize the keywords for what they are. And eigo wo hanashimasu ka Eigo wa hanashimasu ka is an easy phrase for me to learn now. A couple more. Do you speak English? See you later.
後でまた後で
Mata atode, mata atode. That means see you later. Now, as a language speaker, you don't want to just have one set phrase for saying bye-bye, like sayonara, sayonara, you can say sayonara, you can say jane, jane, I think jane, yeah, jane. You can say mata ashita, mata kondo, and apparently you can also say mata atode, mata atode. Let's listen once more.
また後で
Mata tode. So mata means time, I think. Yeah, mata means time. So see you later, like another time. How much is this?
これはいくらですか
Kore wa ikura desu ka? Didn't know that. Kore means this. Ikura, I guess, means like how much. So there we go. Kore wa ikura desu ka? Lots of particles. Wa desu ka. Like in Arabic, to say how much is this, you just say kam or bikem, like this, how much, just how much. There's not the extra words, but this is kore wa ikura desu ka, 8 syllables. And it's written here in 5 different words. Kore wa ikura desu ka, how much is this? And then how old are you?
何歳ですか
Nan sai desu ka? So nan means what? Sai, I think, is a number. But numbers in Japanese are very confusing and complicated, so that's, I think, a whole like lesson in itself. But nansai desu ka? Desu ka, again, like question. It's just a question. Desu ka? If you had kore wa desu ka? Kore wa nan desu ka means what is this? So nansai desu ka? How old are you? So like, what's your age? What's your years? What's your number? I guess that's kind of what it's saying here. And then another way of saying thank you, domo. Like, you don't want to be saying arigato, arigato gozaimasu, arigato, arigato. You want different ways of saying please, thank you, mix it up a bit so you sound a bit more fluent and fluid. So you can say this.
どうも
Domo. Domo for thanks. And lastly,
水お願いします
mizu onegai shimasu, mizu onegai shimasu, not mizo, but mizu onegai shimasu means water please. Mizu is like water, so that's another thing to use. So learn Japanese whilst you sleep. Yeah, it's good. I will use it as part of my resources. I'm still looking at the dialogue mainly, and I can recommend that you use it in conjugation, but don't expect it to magically make you speak fluent Japanese, because, you know, there's no cheat for that. It's just hard work, perseverance, dedication, sweat, blood, and tears. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but you get the idea. So I'm actually recording this a day early. It is Sunday today. This will go out on Monday. I'll be on a flight to Vietnam when this goes out. If you're in Hanoi, anyone watching in Hanoi, leave a comment. I've got a few days there, so yeah, maybe we'll meet up or something. And I hope to see you again back for day 17, which will be tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you then. And until then, mata kondo, mata ashita. Bye bye. Sayonara.